What is going on, y'all? So in today's video I am stealing my wife's 370Z NISMO. A couple of you guys have dropped comments saying you guys want more videos on this car, and I definitely have been slacking on the content on this car and also on the Corvette that's right there. But today we're gonna be hopping in her car and we're just gonna go around and I'll give you guys a couple of pulls, show you guys just the POV, how it is right now, and just kind of talk about the car and our experience with it so far. She basically dailies it right now. I occasionally drive it, you know, every once in a while. We have gone on a couple of road trips already with this car, driven, you know, really hot days, really rainy days, mix of everything. So we've gotten a pretty good feel of what this car can do and just how it is altogether as a daily driver, as, you know, a fun backroads car and everything. But let's go ahead and get into the drive. I love how this car sounds, and the crazy thing is this car is literally completely stock, outside of tint and the LED side markers that we installed. But besides that, this car is completely stock, and it's crazy how how complete the car is. It doesn't really need anything, to be honest. Like, if you want to be louder, obviously you can make it louder, but the way it is now, I don't know how the camera's picking it all up, but in person it sounds great. Like, it's right now that I'm cruising at what, 2K RPM, you can't even hear it. But like the second you want to hear it and you get on the car, like, it screams loud enough, but it's not obnoxious. And in terms of suspension, this thing is like dialed in. It's stiff, but it's not, I guess it's not overly stiff. Like, you can tell it's spec'd out to be sporty, but it's not like overkill. It's not too much. But yeah, this thing is a blast to drive. A lot of people knocked it for being auto when my wife bought it, you know, a while back. But, you know, when we got the car, we were trying to buy one that, you know, she would enjoy driving and she'd be comfortable with. And she's driven my Corvette before a couple of times, but, you know, it's just not her thing. She doesn't really like stick shift like that. She much preferred auto in getting this car, and being able to drive this one and hop into my Corvette that's stick shift, it's nice to not, like, it's weird because I've always been a diehard, you know, manual fan. Like, my go-to, it has to be a stick shift. But after driving this one, it's nice not always having to shift through gears. Like, if I do want to, you know, bang gears, I'll hop in the Vet. But if I want something more chill and just, you know, if I don't really care to go crazy, I'll like hop in this one. But for her, she doesn't like to go crazy in general, so it just works out for her. Like, this one is sporty enough to where she wants to get on it. It's fun, and when she doesn't, it literally drives like a normal car. But she's never really like gotten into it, like give it all the beans, if you know what I mean. Like, so when I've gotten into the car and, you know, I'm like, oh, this is how you should drive it, you know, once you get comfortable with it, she's like, oh my god, like, I didn't know my car could do all that. But it's been nice to see her enjoy this car as much as she has, in, you know, in her own way, and, you know, her slowly getting comfortable with it. Because, you know, when we first bought it, she didn't even want to do a pull, and, you know, now she be she'd be doing little pulls here and there. She still hasn't messed with like the paddles too much. I have, of course, but she's been easing into it, you know, very slowly, and I'm happy that she is, because with any kind of sports car, if you get too cocky, too confident, you know, that's why there's a lot of people that wreck them, or if they're lucky enough, they only spin out and, you know, they don't wreck it, but, you know, it's lessons that are learned. So I'm glad that she's taking it slow and doing it at her own pace. But as far as for me, I've gotten on this car, you know, doing watt pulls, and it's fun. Like, obviously there's other cars that are faster, but for what this car is, it's honestly amazing. It's not, you know, meant for straight line speed. So when we have gone out of town and, you know, gone on like uphill roads or downhill roads, depending, you know, where we're going, this thing kills all the back roads. Like, man, I hope you guys are hearing this on the camera, because this thing sounds crazy. I'm so used to hearing a V8 just because all my cars have been V8s. It's so cool to hear, you know, an import. The closest I ever got to hearing it more often was, you know, just through my friends that have had import cars, but nothing personal. So the closest now to me is this one, my wife's NISMO, but nothing for myself yet. I'd love to get something. I always wanted a 350Z, but one time I almost bought one. I remember for my 23rd birthday, I think, I made a video on it, if I should get a 350 or a 370, and I didn't end up getting either. And I'm glad I didn't, because had I bought it, I wouldn't have gotten the vet that I have now. So I'm glad I didn't end up buying one. And I mean, it went full circle, because my wife ended up buying one. So I get to live out my dream of having an import through her. Like I mentioned, we've driven this car in rain or shine. This car sees the road. Like, we're out. Obviously, you know, when the roads are perfect and the weather is nice, like today, you know, it's just getting dark, but you know, roads are dry, everything is cool. The car handles like amazingly. It doesn't really break traction, and that has to do with the Michelins that are on it. It has a Pilot Sport 4S's, the same thing I have on the Vet, and these things grip like crazy, especially, you know, obviously when they get warm. But sorry, I was looking at, man, these people are crazy. The guy behind me almost rear-ended me, and then that other car is going around. That's not even the road, that's just dirt over there. Man, I swear, people out here don't know how to drive. What was I saying? Oh, the grip on this car is crazy. Like I said, it doesn't break traction very easily, and it just hugs the road, whether it's going straight or, you know, you're taking curves. I can confidently like accelerate during a turn, and it's the same thing in the Corvette, but I honestly feel like the suspension in this one is more dialed in than the Vet. But it's almost like a decade of a difference of the age between the two cars. This one's a 2018 and my Corvette is a 2010, so almost a decade apart. And you can definitely tell this car is just track ready. We haven't, you know, taken it to the track. I'm not sure if she'd want to drive it herself personally at the track. If anything, she'd probably want me to drive it, but I don't know, she could always end up changing her mind. But yeah, this thing is ready to go. Like I was saying, out the dealership, this thing is just ready. You don't really have to do much or anything at all, to be honest. if you just want a fun, you know, street car / track car, this is it. Obviously, if you don't want to go domestic and get like a Corvette like me, it's crazy how similar these two cars are, yet they're so different. But either way, in perfect conditions, this car handles amazingly. You won't have any issues. Even if you're on throttle, it'll handle great. Now, as far as when it's raining, if it's, you know, light rain, heavy rain, whatever, you do have to drive very carefully with this car. But that kind of just, you know, any sports car, well, any car generally, but any sports car, if you're out in the rain, you definitely want to be very careful, because, you know, traction isn't as great. Now, this car, with the tires it has, you don't really break traction easily either in the rain. We've driven in heavy rain too, and this thing has handled great. But obviously, you know, you got to drive, you know, very smoothly, very carefully. No, you know, hard accelerating, because then you will spin the tires. But just cruising how I am right now, you can barely tell it's wet. Like, it handles great, to be honest. Now, as far as daily driving something like this, you can definitely do it. It's good on gas for what it is. This car averages anywhere from like 20 to like maybe 24, 25 miles per gallon, with a mix of city and, you know, highway. I'm not saying that's, you know, what this car gets out the factory. That's just what we get roughly. And she doesn't really have a heavy foot, but, you know, she gets on it every once in a while, so that takes a part of how much gas it wastes. But yeah, I mean, for a sports car to be getting 20 plus miles per gallon is not bad at all. It's comfortable if you're not going on long road trips. Like, if you're just in town, this car handles great. But we have taken it on long road trips, like I mentioned earlier, and these Recaros look amazing. They're some of the nicest seats I've ever seen, but they're also some of the most uncomfortable seats I've ever been in. They're very track inspired, so they do their job, but for like day-to-day driving, these seats literally hug your waist. Like, imagine somebody just hugging your waist the whole time, and the back, you know, doesn't have much support. Like, it's just holding you in. So sitting like this, you know, for a couple of hours isn't the most comfortable thing, but it's definitely doable. Especially, like I said, if you're only driving in town to go to work, to go to the gym, whatever, it's fine. But once you're in the car for, I'd say, over an hour and a half, you really start to feel, you know, how uncomfortable this car can be at times. And even then, we still love the car. That's just, you know, one of the negatives about it is it's not the best road trip car. But you wouldn't think a 370Z would be, you know, your ideal choice of a road trip car. And the way this, I haven't mentioned it, but like the way the gauges and everything are set up in this car looks so sick, especially at night, how you guys are seeing right now. Like, everything here just lights up and it's all facing you, so you just feel like you're in a race car. Honestly, the cockpit view of this car definitely has the Corvette beat. Not many cars, I would say, look this sporty, you know, from the driver's seat. And the Corvette is, or at least the C6 Corvette is definitely one of those cars. It does look sporty, but not like this. Like, having all these extra gauges definitely adds to the effect. Let's see right here from a dig. So we chirped the tires a little bit. I don't know if you guys heard that. Man, this thing is quick. That's actually the first time I've ever gone that hard from a dig or from a full stop, whatever. But that was a pretty fun launch, I'm not gonna lie. My wife might kill me after she sees this video, but at least you guys get to see it. So do me a favor, drop a like on this video if you guys are enjoying everything so far or have found some of the information I've been talking about useful. If not, drop a comment on whatever topic you want me to talk about regarding this car or even the Corvette, whatever. You know, just drop a comment, let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this, you know, or whatever. But help out your boy, drop a like, it helps out a lot. But let's do another pull. It's just dark out here. I hope you guys can hear it. I know I keep saying that, but it's just, this thing sounds crazy in person. And it just blows my mind that this car is stock. Because I remember when I drove my Corvette, that thing sounded so quiet stock. It really didn't make any noise until I put the Corsa Extremes on it. And then I kind of thought it wasn't loud enough, so then that's when I did the catless setup. But that's way too loud, so now I went back down to just catted with Corsa Extremes, and I honestly enjoy how that sounds. But this car, I feel like if you were to put anything on it and change the exhaust, this thing would just scream and be so loud, but like all the time. And right now it's just loud when you're on it, but just cruising is nice and quiet. I've only ever done this once, like a silent POV video. I did it with the Shelby. Yeah, that's the one I did it with. I did it with my old Shelby GT500. And that one did pretty well. So if you guys like those kind of videos where I don't really talk and it's just kind of just me driving around, what it would look like if you were the one driving around, and you know, just do a couple pulls here and there, just kind of cruise around. If you guys want to see a video of like that, of either this car or the Vet, I can definitely do that. Just drop a comment, let me know if that's what you guys want to see, and I'll go ahead and make one for another video. Obviously not today because I've been talking the whole time, so that doesn't really work out. But I'm gonna stop somewhere real quick just so I can give you guys a little walk around of the car, just because I don't think I've really done one with this one since we got it. So I'll go ahead and park somewhere with some good lighting. Alright y'all, so here's the whip. This thing looks so nice at night. I mean in the day too, but this thing just looks crazy right now at night. Looks so mean. Let me open up the door just so y'all can see how this thing looks so crazy. So like I said, these Recaros are absolutely beautiful. They're just not the most comfortable, but here's the whip. Let me see if I can get some revs for y'all. All right, y'all, so that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the POV drive with this whip, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe if you're new, drop a comment of, again, whatever topic you guys want or content you guys want to see with this car or the Corvette, and I'll make sure to make a video on it later on. But appreciate you guys for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.